welcome back to the show, Business Mastery for Startups, Scaleups, and Early Stage Businesses with your host, Jerry Gadori. That's me, and our special guest for today, also me. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're on our 25th episode. We've been running this show now for 25 straight weeks. I want to take a step back from having a guest on the show and kind of recap what we've covered, talk about where we're going, and stay to the end because I want to share what's coming next. I think you're going to love it. So first things first, what have we covered? We've had guests on here talking about leadership, talking about KPIs, talking about how to build a company culture, sharing different ideas to go to market. We've had guests from all over the world, talking from the perspective of the founder, of the business expert consultant that wants to share a particular idea. We've intentionally gone across the gamut of leadership, sales, internal recruitment, marketing, and shared several ideas to make sure that there was something here for everybody in that space of startup, early stage, or small business. Now, why the focus on those areas? Why not focus on enterprise companies that have deep pockets and large lists of resources that they can tap? Why? For just that reason. Because they have deep pockets and large lists of resources that they can tap. But the small business owner, the scrappy founder, the scaling up company doesn't have that. Whether you're a bootstrapped founder or whether you're a VC funded one, the things that we need in that space simply don't get the attention that they require. We are, in that space, the largest employers globally. We are where innovation comes from. The reason why those of us that are building businesses destined to be acquired are acquired is because in some ways we're almost like an outsourced R&D factory for these larger companies. And yet, we rarely get the support that we need. We rarely have access to the consultants and talent that these megacorps have. So I've made it my mission to do everything I can to share what I've learned in 25 years of business and helping to build a company that was acquired for a 9-figure sum and helped to build several others that stayed with the founder that will never be acquired because the founder isn't looking for that. The things I learned in writing my book, Destination Employer, I bring all those things to you and offer to give you that support that we so desperately need in our space. And I will continue to seek out people that can share their views on the same. But what I want to really look at today, beyond what we've done so far, is what I bring to this community, what I personally have. It's my goal to create what are called destination employers. You've heard me talk a little bit about this in other episodes, but today I want to look at that in a little more depth. How do I define a destination employer? Why would you want to become one? Frankly, what's in it for you? The way that I define a destination employer is a company that's developed a reputation in the marketplace as a location where top talent can 10x their career. It's the type of place that candidates know that if they have it on their resume, they will get attention. They know that if they're at that company, that they're going to get experience they likely couldn't get elsewhere. Think, if you're a software person or a technologist, of companies like OpenAI, like Apple, like Alphabet. Think, if you're a business consultant, companies like McKinsey, Accenture, Deloitte. You know, having those names on your resume is going to mean something. Heck, that's why when you look at social media like LinkedIn, you see things like ex-Googler, ex-McKinsey. If you're in the academic space, think of places like Harvard or Berkeley that get attention. This is what we aspire to in our space. Now, you might think to yourself, gosh, I'm a 15, 20 person company. That's never going to happen for me. That's incorrect. That is not true. That's a limiting mindset that's preventing you from being able to consistently access the top talent in your space. Now, how do you become a destination employer? I break that into 4 different categories. The first is attraction. As a destination employer, you need to learn how to build candidate attraction engines. You need to learn how to take that candidate attraction engine and put it in the places where your most important candidate, where the category of employee that defines the service or product you provide resides. Once you've got that down and you're creating meaningful engagement with the top talent in your space, in your market, you then need to learn about recruiting, how to do it effectively. Now, I know, everybody can recruit, or so LinkedIn would lead you to believe. But if, like most founders, you get to the point where you've exhausted your professional network and need to really go out and truly recruit, you're going to learn that doing that consistently is a whole nother animal. So now that we've created an attraction engine to get that engagement, we build recruitment and offer processes that are efficient and that don't lose that engagement. Put plainly, now that we've got top talent's attention, we don't want to piss them off and lose it. So once we've got that recruitment down, now comes the most important thing, and frankly, the most overlooked, and that's retention. For the life of me, in 25 years of business, working with hundreds of companies, having built and been part of several teams ranging from exceptional to frankly below par, it will be something I never understand as to why retention doesn't get more attention from founders and leaders of all kinds. If you can't effectively retain the top talent in your company, you cannot build consistent, high-performing teams. It's not possible. You will also develop a reputation for a churning factory, for a place where candidates come and go, come and go, come and go. And it will get more and more difficult to engage with top talent. You'll get that reputation as a place where people come and leave because it's not a place where you can grow. It is, and I'm going to say this, I say this all the time with social media, I mention it so often, it's easier to fill buckets than it is colanders. And gosh, for my life, can't understand why people don't put more effort into this. But let me give you some great news. Retention isn't difficult. It's all about leadership and the culture that you build in your company and making sure that you're representing that culture when you're building those attraction engines that we talked about a moment ago. When you're building that attraction, that customer attraction engine, you have to make sure that you're representing your true culture, that the people that you're looking to hire can see themselves in that material. When they're reading about the things that you're putting in your posts, they can imagine themselves in that space. Not the culture that you want your company to have, but the culture that your company has, the true culture. When you do that, you're going to be attracting the right person and repelling the wrong, which is a night and day difference. The other part of leadership in building that incredible culture of growth and honest feedback and consistent, meaningful communication and high performance is the leadership style that you take. Now, the leadership style that I teach is called the EFG leadership framework. E for engage, F for fulfill or fulfillment, G for growth. Said plainly, if your team feels heard and valued, if their personal values and missions are in alignment with your company's mission and values, and they're consistently growing in their skills and responsibilities, then they are unlikely to leave your company. Why? Because they're incentivized to stay. They like what they're doing. They feel good because their manager or leader listens to their input and feedback, and while not all of it may be executed on, they know that it's being listened to. They're growing in their skills and responsibilities, so there's no reason for them to leave in that category. Those three things alone will change your business. And implementing those strategies is not difficult to do. It just needs to be done consistently over time. Now, ultimately, in nearly all circumstances, heck, especially technology, that G for growth is going to be the thing that breaks. Those folks will grow faster than you can create promotions for them. When that happens, that's a natural end. That's okay. There's no crime committed here. They didn't steal the family silver and slip out a back window. They've reached the limit of what you can do with them right now, and so you part ways. And the way that you deal with that is all the difference in the world between building that reputation and creating problems. So again, that's part of the area that we focus on in building that retention is effective exit interviews, building alumni groups out of your exiting folks. But those things combined make you a destination employer. And what do you get out of it? You might be asking, as a founder with 25 hours of work to do every day and 8 days of work to do every week. You get consistent access to the top talent in your market. You will be able to consistently attract talent that, for the most part, has built up an insulation to outside recruitment due to the enormous amount of garbage outreach that they receive every single day. You will be able to utilize that engagement to actually get them to join your team, and then they will stay on your team for longer than the industry averages and be far more productive in those periods. Said differently, you'll be able to build highly effective teams that give you an unfair competitive advantage. I'm going to say this again. This isn't your basic HR, recruiter, talent acquisition thing. This is as literally the soul of your company as you can get if companies had literal souls, because these are the folks that comprise your company. I don't care how exciting your product idea is. I don't care how disruptive, imaginative, and amazing your service offering is. If you can't consistently bring in quality people and keep them with you for longer than the industry averages, which, for the record, are the lowest in recorded history in the United States, and I'm going to assume the globe isn't too far different, then you cannot achieve all that you could. This will go from being a nightmare for you to being a source of pride and, frankly, not only a money saver, but a revenue generator. Why? Because the difference between the top 5% best talent and a very good employee is a night and day difference. And that top 5% talent, regardless of what's going on in the marketplace, always has choices, always has options. So if you manage through your attraction work to get their attention and create engagement, and you manage through your recruitment efforts to get them to join your team, and you manage through your retention efforts and your leadership to get them to stay and be happy and perform better for longer, boom. You've got a superpower that your competitors do not have. The reason why there are fewer destination employers in the world than there should be is because this, again, not complex system isn't executed on consistently over time. That's why. That's the reason. It's not because you're not Apple and you're not Alphabet and you're not McKinsey and you're not OpenAI. It's because this isn't given the attention that it deserves. And frankly, it's hurting your bottom line. If I sound passionate about this, it's because I am. I realized many years ago that people are all the difference in business. And this is that. So first, how do I support this? Well, most obviously this show. This is our 25th episode. I thank you all for tuning in. Our audience growth has been staggering. I am deeply appreciative of you giving me a slice of your attention. So if you do nothing else, feel free to keep watching this show and share it with your friends. The more people that get this message, the better for all of us. The second way that I support this endeavor is my book, Destination Employer, available on Amazon. It hit #1 in 3 categories within 1 month of its release, and it's still doing well. So if you haven't yet, you can get a copy. Heck, for less than $20, you can get all these ideas and a lot more detail in one place. The next way that I support this is my online program. I took all the material from the book, I expanded it out in professionally edited videos designed to get you from where you are to where you want to be in the fastest amount of time. 5 modules, over 8 hours of video, downloadable, editable material for each one of those modules, including all the questions to ask, how to engage with your team, to learn about your culture, to learn how to create that candidate attraction engine, how to build a recruitment process that works efficiently, how to implement the EFG leadership framework, as well as consulting time with me. And heck, we even included branded marketing materials so that you can use a free Canva account to build out your employer brand. It covers all of it, and it's designed specifically, again, to get you to success as quick as possible. And finally, my consulting company, Redbeard Solutions. I'm always repping my swag in all of these videos, but I'm so proud of that company. We take the destination employer methodology, and for those companies that want hands-on support in actually implementing it, we have several packages designed to do that. It's not what industry you're in, it's what type of company you are as it relates to being a startup, scale up, early stage business, small business. We work best with companies from about 5 to 200 employees. If you get much bigger than that, we do have packages, but that's frankly not our focus. Our focus is on the small business market. What's next? Well, we're going to do a combination of things moving forward. Now that we've hit 25, we're going to continue to bring in founders and consultants for interviews. When it comes to founders, we're going to start adding more stories about their founding journey. So it will be less tips and instructions and more what they did and went through, with the mind of giving you an opportunity to get a feel for what their experience was like so that you can see kind of where you are in that. I've found other founders' journey stories to be very compelling, so I want to bring that to you as well. I'm going to continue also to bring in subject matter experts in sales, recruitment, operations, and funding so that you can get that experience from them. When I'm speaking of something, I'm making sure it's something that I've got personal experience in that I can add value. When there's areas that I'm not as strong in, or that I know or have friends that are much stronger in, I bring them in to share their view so that I'm always making sure I'm bringing the best content possible for your journey. Finally, we're going to start doing meetups once we get enough attention and a big enough audience. I'd love to be able to meet some of you folks in person. I'm also working with a couple different startup communities, so there's the possibility I'll be able to meet you there as well. But for now, I'd like to thank you all for sticking with us through 25 episodes. I can't wait to have a one-on-one session like this with you for our 50th episode. But until then, please go build something awesome, go be awesome, and build a company that's going to change the world. Thank you.